Meta Junglira is one of the two zones found in the Sage 2021 demo of Triple Trouble 16-bit that I played, along with Grand Turquoise. Sunset Park was oddly excluded from that original demo. Therefore, I'm a little used to the gimmicks that appear in this first act, with the main two being these Donkey Kong barrels that launch you in various directions, and these breakable bumpers that appear mostly as a minor annoyance. In the same way that Grand Turquoise felt like this game's Green Hill, and Sunset Park was roughly similar to Chemical Plant and Oil Ocean, Meta Junglira feels like a tribute to Angel Island Zone, although that could simply be down to the fact that both the jungle theme levels played pretty much completely straight. The strangest thing about this act is the fact that none of the enemies feel like they necessarily belong in this jungle setting, between a jumping right rabbit bot, a giant pond skimmer, and whatever this is. They feel almost more suited to some sort of lake and countryside level than this dense tropical jungle. Then again, Batnik designs are almost never based off their environment, like the fact you find ladybugs in this factory or these rhinos on this tropical beach. It's just that this particular enemy caught me particularly off guard, especially when I was jumping through this area around the midpoint of the act and saw one clipped into the ground. The actual boss of this act is once again Fang, definitely putting in overtime to earn his brand new character slot, but after his role as a background annoyance in Sunset Park, he's once again graduated back to Act 1 boss. He's still riding his Marvelous Queen motorbike hoverbike unicycle thing, but this time he's decked it out with a drill and a missile salvo. Maybe I'm just particularly bad at this game, the most likely scenario, but he continues the trend this game has so far set of being really easy to beat, but making me lose all of my rings in the process, as I kept getting hit by the same attacks. I ultimately did defeat him, and satiated Sonic continued bloodlust throughout this game by burying Fang alive, dark, albeit at the cost of 69 rings. Nice. Act 2 starts with Fang bursting out to the ground, having patiently waited for the act ending to complete before deciding to escape his early grave. It starts off seemingly identical to Act 1, with the only major difference being that some of the barrels now contain snakes inside, which act as moving platforms up and down. It isn't long though until Fang reappears in the first non-boss mid-act cutscene of the game, where he jumps on an entirely out of place button and sends you, in another repeating trope, to a lower section of the area. I'd probably be more annoyed by this if I didn't feel it a completely justifiable action, considering we did just try and bury him. Meta Junglira Act 2 is actually an Indiana Jones inspired temple complex, complete with secret buttons, rotating floors, dart traps, and even a rolling boulder set pieces at the end of the act. I did actually walk out of this temple with a few plundered riches of my own, 2 more Chaos Emeralds, courtesy of the 3 big rings I found throughout the stage. I found out you can redo special stages if you fail to beat Fang to the Emerald, possibly inspired by a similar feature in Sonic Origins, although the price here is 1 of your lives. Not a terrible trade actually, but not one I accepted, hence the 2 Chaos Emeralds to the 3 big rings equation. The act slows down a little towards the end with a section where you need to navigate a maze of rising and falling spiked columns, but it isn't too difficult to reach the boss of the zone, Wood Butterundorf. Seriously, between this and Marv's Supopulous Gao, who was naming these bosses? Anyways, he's easily the toughest opponent yet, which isn't much of a compliment considering the ease that every other boss has been dispatched with so far. His 2 attacks are to smash the ground with his fangs out, which will also cause damaging debris to fall, or to enter his den and release a spike ball which bounces across the arena. Technically still an easy boss, but that can be mostly attributed to the whole ring mechanic Sonic has, not my own ability. Continuing the boss battle lineage of the game so far, by having one particular sprite that is uncomfortably detailed compared to all the others, Wood Butterundorf is defeated, which seems to trigger the collapse of the temple complex, so cue the aforementioned rolling boulders. 2 of them as well, in case you thought you were in the clear after just the one Indiana Jones reference. Collect the capsule, and following the journey laid out by the Sonic News Network, the next zone should be Robotnik Winter Zone. Okay. Sonic and Tails have drowned. A giant red orb has appeared. Oh, it's that type of remake, isn't it? Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and ciao.